It's that time again, fellas. We made it all the way to Dragon Ball Super. Who would have thought?
Not me, Barry. I thought I'd be put in jail by now. These goddamn New Yorkers want my ass so bad you'd think I was a fresh slice of pizza.
Mamma mia, give me the fresh slice of pizza, please. I am just a poor old man, needed a pizza. Give me the pizza.
Joe, what the hell are you going on about my guy?
Can't you tell, Barack? This man clearly needed the pizza. Someone get a demand some a pizza, please.
Don't you fucking start now. You could use less pizza, Donald.
My precious bambino Jill just provided me with the pizza mi amore. I love it, a pizza. Munch, 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 chew, swallow. Oh, wow, boys, that feels so much better. I caught the pizza fever, and I'm doing great now. How are all of you doing?
Good. I guess I'm not even going to try and understand what just happened. Where is Mr. Rogan?
He said he would get on after he finished interviewing Kushran.
Kushran? What in the actual Looney Tunes fuck are you talking about? I thought that was just Rogan tripping on DMT. You mean to tell me Kushran is real?
Not only is he real, but he's also being interviewed by Joe Rogan. Take a look. I just clipped part of the interview. It's in the Discord.
Thanks for granting me my wish of getting to interview you, Kushran. I appreciate you.
It's not a problem, Mr. Rogan. It's been over 400 years since someone smoked the 7 dragon blunts and summoned me. It's good to be asked something that isn't akin to unlimited kush. What would you like to know?
Well, I guess I'd like to start with your relationship with Shenron. Is he like your brother? Or is he related at all?
He's just my annoying cousin. Always getting all the screen time. Somehow I'm just not good enough, I guess. He's always been such a diva, complaining about being summoned by those Z-fighters all the time. But I mean, come on. They can fly and shit. It's like no shit they'll find the Dragon Balls all the time.
Well, have you ever tried talking to him about it?
I try to give him advice, but he just always says the same thing. And I quote, "You're just a dumb dragon whose powers can only be used to summon blunts." Like somehow I'm less important, and that shit hurts, homie. Especially coming from a family member.
Damn, homie, that must sting. On God, family can be some of the most annoying people in our lives, but they're still family at the end of the day. I'm sorry you gotta deal with all that, but if it makes you feel any better, I smoked all 7 dragon blunts because I wanted to get to know the real Kushran. And you seem pretty cool, homie. You're always welcome on the show.
Thanks, Joe. It's nice to hear someone talk to me like I'm a normal dragon. Your show is fantastic. My time is up, so I'll head on out. But I'll leave you a dragon blunt on the house just for you, homie.
Holy shit, that blunt is hella loud. Thanks, Kushran.
Anytime, Mr. Rogan. It is time for me to slumber and await the next brave warrior. Farewell.
Well, I'll be damned, fellas. Kushran is fucking real.
I mean, I guess he is. Wow. What an amazing time to be alive.
Holy shit, fellas, you would not believe who I got on my podcast.
Sorry, Alpha Joe, but I already told them.
Oh, Donald, you dick. Oh, well, at least we get to rank the Dragon Ball Super Sagas together. The excitement continues.
Exactly, Joe, and as an apology for Donald spoiling your surprise, would you like to start us off?
I'd love to, Barry. So the reintroduction into Dragon Ball was handled pretty well in the movie version of the God of Destruction saga, but the anime itself was pretty lackluster, and not just from an animation standpoint. Everyone already knows how dog shit the initial animations for Dragon Ball Super were, so I won't harp on that too much, nor will I blame the animators themselves. I blame the company. They gave those poor bastards so little time in comparison to standard anime, which was so lame anyway. Going off the movie version, I would give this saga a C tier. It introduced Beerus and Whis, which was pretty dope, as well as the hip new form Super Saiyan God. But the anime version, at least, was so bogged down by nonsense that by the time it actually got to the fight, I was pretty worn out with the whole thing. C tier for me.
I suppose C tier is fair, and I am a bit biased as I am a Dragon Ball Super fanboy. But yeah, the anime took too long to get to all the high points. But you all gotta admit that my Bulma scene where Beerus slapped Bulma, causing Vegeta to rage and attack that purple cat was pretty awesome, even if it did lead to nothing. Plus, isn't it so funny that the God of Destruction, the entity tasked with destroying entire planets and galaxies, is a fucking cat? So adorable, so funny, I vote B tier.
I agree, Joe. It was pretty funny, and I overall was fine with the retcon that Vegeta knew about Beerus. And obviously, the God of Destruction is going to be stronger than Majin Buu. But it was such a shame to see him just get no diffed by Beerus. Now that I think about it, they waste Majin Buu throughout the entire series. But I guess the movie version is good enough to ignore the shitty anime. I will have to agree with Mr. Rogan. I think it's C tier.
Dragon Ball Super is nothing more than one giant fan fiction. It was all trash, and you all are delusional. All Super has going for it are the fight scenes, and the fight scenes in this saga were stinkier than Sleepy Joe's diapers. D tier for this pile of crap.
Fuck off. Donald Super is an amazing show that gives us a new canonic timeline. First you insult GT, and now Super, you are scum, my friend.
Cry about it, fanboy. I admit Super is better than GT, but that's not exactly an accomplishment. The best thing to come out of Dragon Ball Super is how smoking hot they made Bulma. What a MILF. Everything else is trash.
This is going to be painful the whole way through, I can already tell. I'm throwing it into C tier. I believe that's fair now. Let's move on to the Golden Frieza saga. While I think Frieza's new form is drippy as all hell, like shit, give me a suit made of those colors, I do think it was pretty silly. All they do is shit on Gohan and the rest of the Z fighters, and then suck off Goku by having him take the kill off of Vegeta. I mean, come on, can't my boy Vegeta just finally kill Frieza?
I agree, Barack. What the fuck is up with them always shafting Gohan and Vegeta? I also think it's just kind of bullshit. I mean, I know Whis is an angel, so he'll no doubt have powers we don't know about, but how convenient is it that he can just turn back time? Lowell Frieza literally won that fight. Don't get me wrong, it was a total bitch win, but it still was a win. And then Whis is just like, nope. And then Goku steals the kill. D tier for me.
I'll admit, as much as I love Super, if you're going to bring back an iconic villain like Space Hitler, you should at least do something good with him, D tier.
Look at what they did to my boy, oh God damn it. Why, sweet merciful God, why would they do this?
I know, Donald, I feel that pain, but hey, at least they do more with Frieza later. Dragon Ball Super had a terrible start, let's be honest, but it got better.
Well, I suppose if by getting better you mean it went from liquid shit to solid shit, I suppose it did get better, Alpha Joe.
There he goes, spouting nonsense, negative Donnie going at it again.
Don't you dare call me that ever again, Sleepy Joe. I will find you, and I will slap you silly.
It's not really hard to find me, dumbass. Here's my address, Donnie, the fucking White House.
You guys are like fucking clockwork. I'm moving on. The Universe 6 tournament was a good return to form for the series, and I think it was solid. It did some setup for the Universal tournament, and we got to see some iconic moments. I know it's anime only, but seeing Super Saiyan Blue mixed with Kaioken was beautifully crafted. Hit was a great foe, and his time skip assassin gimmick was pretty cool. I'd say B tier.
Dog shit, D tier.
For what, Donald? Did it not have enough genocidal war villains for you to adore? I mean, you got to see Frost. He's the same species as your favorite character, Hitler in space. Gosh, now that I say that out loud, that sounds like a terrible stage play, but I digress. It was the first solid saga that gave fans some hope for the series after the rocky start. I think B tier is fair. It was solid and had some good flashy moments and setup.
I mean, come on, Donald isn't red like your favorite color. Jamie, roll the clip of badass Goku.
The Kaioken!
Fine, put it in B tier, but only because red is the best color, the greatest color. In fact, I'd go as far as to say it's the most amazing color of all time.
I mean, a reason is a reason, I guess. Now, I'm not going to lie. This copy Vegeta bullshit is like D tier. I'm like 99% sure. Someone in the boardroom blurted out slime Vegeta at a meeting once as a joke, and someone heard it and accidentally made it into a whole arc. Seemed pretty pointless to me.
Yeah, it was weird the whole time, like they had Vegeta sucking on a pacifier for like reasons I guess he was vanishing or something. I honestly couldn't tell you. They killed Gotenk's credibility back during the Boo saga, so I had no reason to really give a shit about these two. I guess it's nice to see them attempting to do something with them. IDK, it's just weird, D tier.
Oh, come on, fellas. Seeing Vegeta like that was pretty funny.
No, it really wasn't Sleepyhead. It really wasn't. This shit is F tier. D tier is being really generous. This was essentially just filler.
Fuck you, Donnie. You're the filler here, filled with sugar, hamburger meat, and French fries.
Piss off, bumbling, stumbling, fumbling little Joey. I'm the greatest American who ever lived. Of course, I'm filled with hamburger meat.
Oof, the best American to ever live? I mean, what about George Washington?
Fine, I'm the second best American to ever live, so get wrecked, Sleepy Joe.
Well, hang on, Donald. What about Robin Williams and Bob Ross, or Harriet Tubman, or Al Pacino, or George Lopez, or Chris Rock, or Abe Lincoln, or...
6 hours later.
Or Rosa Parks, or either of the Roosevelts, or Eleanor Roosevelt, or Frederick Douglass, or Einstein, or JFK, or Benjamin Franklin, or James Madison, or Thomas Jefferson, or Hamilton, or the guy who played Hamilton in the stage play Hamilton, or every person who worked on the stage play Hamilton, or any of the hardworking extras that helped set design and create Hamilton. I really like the Hamilton play. It's pretty good, Hamilton. Gotta get your right-hand man back and all that.
Jesus Christ, Alpha Joe, you just listed off like 7,000 names.
Goddamn well still fine. I'm in the top 10,000 of Americans. The point is I beat Sleepy Joe. Ha 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 ha. Fuck you, Sleepy Joe.
God, you're pretentious. I'm moving on. The Future Trunks saga has the best start to a saga in a long time, I'd argue, since Cell and Dragon Ball Z. Finally, we get to see evil Goku, and Trunks returns from the future for the first time in like forever. It was super dope seeing Goku black. And Zamasu, seeing how a Supreme Kai is trained, was great lore building. We got to see Beerus use the Hakai. It was solid as fuck, A tier.
I can't help but notice you said nothing about the absolute horse fuckery that occurred in that completely asinine ending. I'll admit this is probably the best saga in Dragon Ball Super, but they fumbled the bag to that ending harder than Atlanta fumbled the Super Bowl in 2016. The whole fucking point of the saga was to save Trunks' future, and it just ends up being deleted by that fucking pillhead-looking Xeno. Only Mai and Trunks survived. That's got to be some sort of existential nightmare, just watching everything you've ever known just being deleted like that. That was so stupid it drops it down to C tier.
Yeah, Joe, I really liked the saga, but man, did they drop the ball at the end? Seeing Vegito again was pretty baller, though, so I won't knock it to C tier, but I think B tier is pretty fair.
I agree with former President Big Barry Obama. I think the arc was awesome all the way up until the ending. I mean, what were they thinking? First, they give Trunks a ridiculous power-up, and then fused Zamasu just turns into the sky. I mean, what the fuck? How does that even work? And then just pop everything gone. You sorry, Trunks, I know you were working so hard to, like, save this universe, but it's just gone now. Kind of dog shit, not gonna lie. But considering 80% of the saga was good, I will give a B tier.
I see your reasoning, fellas. B tier is fair, but fuck you, Donald. Always trying to put shit down a tier, have a goddamn soul. Super isn't as bad as you think it is.
You're right, Joe Super isn't as bad as I think it is. It's actually much worse. Case in point, the fucking Tournament of Power, or as I like to call it, the Tournament of Nonsense. Fuck this entire tournament. It was all flash and no substance. Ultra Instinct was dope as fuck. And the music gave me a massive Trump-sized boner. But everything else was pretty trash. Jiren is hands down the most boring fucking villain in Dragon Ball. Can someone please tell Toriyama that stoic doesn't always equal badass? That alien fan drawing just stands there for half the fucking tournament, and by the time he finally gets involved, I just don't find myself giving a modicum of a shit anymore, D tier.
Negative Donnie is back at it again with so much cap you could fill up a kiosk at the mall. The Tournament of Power was awesome. And the highest stakes we've ever seen in Dragon Ball, for fuck's sake. Donnie entire universes were erased in that tournament, and so many interesting moments and fights occurred, not to mention the super awesome transformations and callbacks. You had Ultra Instinct, Vegeta's Blue Evolution, Toppo's God of Destruction form. Frieza was brought back, and he was fantastically evil. We got to see Kefla born from Potara fusion. Master Roshi turning back the clock to shit on some fools. So many good moments, S tier for me.
Oh, for real, Joey? S tier on God, you're fucking senile. Alpha Joe, Barry, talk some sense into the president of the nursing home.
I'm going to be straight up honest. I don't think the Tournament of Power is S tier, but I do think it was pretty awesome. At the end of the day, despite our love for anime storytelling, Dragon Ball isn't exactly some deep philosophical tale. It's a story that revolves around aliens beating the shit out of each other and looking like absolute studs while it happens. Goku breaking through the barrier of Ultra Instinct is an iconic moment, and that music track made me orgasm the first time I heard it. No cap, I had to change my pants. And when I put on my second pair, I watched Goku hit Kefla with that Kamehameha wave straight to the face, and I fucking nutted again. Jamie, roll that clip. I need to get a new pair of shorts. Mine have become sticky.
God, Kefla ate that shit so hard, like right to the dome. She just took a fat L, rest in peace. There is no recovering from that. And I do think at the end of the day, enjoyment is what matters most in something like the Tournament of Power, and that shit was enjoyable as hell. Like Mr. Rogan, I don't think it is an S-tier saga, as there is some moments of bullshit, for example. I love Roshi as much as the next guy, but how in the actual fuck is he keeping up with Jiren? Goku had to get a new form that terrified literal gods just to smack Jiren around, but Roshi was just doing his thing, which is admittedly pretty gangster, but it doesn't make sense all in all. I'm leaning on A tier.
Well said, Barry. I think A tier is fair.
I think A tier is fair, fellas. I wish I could convince you of the gloriousness that is the Tournament of Power, but A tier is completely fair and understandable. Thank you for giving Super the credit it deserves.
You buffoons are going to look back years from now and regret your batshit terrible placement of the Tournament of Power. But alas, ignorance is bliss. At least we get to talk about some actual good content. The Broly movie. What a fucking movie. That shit was hype from start to finish. The last thing I remember from the Broly character was that dog shit Bio Broly movie, and that shit literally made me bleed from my nose in disgust. But I gotta give credit where credit is due. The movie redeemed Broly and set up a fantastic story. Plus, that green alien chick can get this Schmeat Monday through Sunday S-tier movie.
I agree with Donald S. Tier for sure, and not to be vulgar, but I'm pretty confident it would require at least 3 separate SWAT teams to get me away from Chile.
You're definitely walking the line with that statement, Mr. Rogan, but I agree, despite being there just for fan service, I mean, hell, the whole fucking movie was fan service, let's be honest. She was a pretty cool character, and her wish saved Broly from being absolutely decimated by Gogeta, so she's actually important. I give S tier.
I agree, Barry, S tier. What a great film. And Frieza was absolutely hilarious in that movie. Hey, Joe, can you ask Jamie to pull up that clip of Frieza killing Paragus? I know he kills someone, but you can't help but laugh at that shit. It's pretty funny.
You heard the president, Jamie. Give me a solid roll on that clip, homie.
Broly, look! It's such a tragedy!
Just more reasons to add to the list of why Frieza is the best character in Dragon Ball. Speaking of which, the Galactic Patrol Saga, I must admit I'm not too fond of reading, but it was solid. B tier for me. I think the little angel guy should have stayed dead, though. Bring back actual stakes in Dragon Ball. I know wish orbs exist, but for fuck's sake, I thought an actual sacrifice occurred. But no, he was brought back as a mortal. Like, okay, I guess? Whatever. I guess angels and gods exist, so at this point, who gives a shit? B tier.
Color me surprised that you would put Dragon Ball super content from a manga into anything as high as B tier Donnie. I knew you'd come around.
I mean, fuck Joe, it took them long enough to finally make half-decent content. When the first 6 sagas of your show are straight up poo-poo, it's about fucking time an arc is half-decent.
Moro was pretty cool, and seeing magic reintroduced into Dragon Ball was also pretty sweet. With how astronomically powerful our heroes have now become, magic is a great way to even the playing field, because it's hard to fight magic. If anyone complains, it's like, what the fuck do you mean, bro? It's magic. I agree with B tier.
I also agree with B tier, and I think we can also throw the granola stuff into B tier as well. I think it had its flaws. The whole 2 Dragon Ball thing was kind of weird, but I guess it's possible. And I think Granola was a pretty cool villain. He had the motivation to attack Goku and Vegeta. But I think the bumfuck group of nobodies were lame. Gaz was lame as fuck. But the graphics of him growing old and decrepit as he fought was pretty cool visually.
I agree, Barry. The visuals were pretty gnarly. It literally looked like Joe himself was out there throwing hands with Goku and Vegeta. Like, look at a picture of Joe and a picture of Gaz when he's all bones and shit. They look alike, ha 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 ha.
Shut it, you fucking gremlin. Insulting me is a mistake. Kind of like making an undisclosed payment of $130,000 and writing it off as a business expense. It's about that same level of a mistake.
Fellas, we have arrived at the finish line. Take a deep breath and relax. If you have your dragon blunts, now is the time to take a big puff.
The superhero movie was baller as fuck. Like, holy shit, I was so scared when they announced it was going to be all CGI, but man, did they prove my ass wrong. That shit was awesome, S tier.
Easy S tier, Barack. They finally gave Gohan and Piccolo the spotlight again, buffing both of them to absolute monsters. If I had to nitpick, I wish Cell Max wasn't a rampaging kaiju, but that's really just nitpicking. It was dope as fuck. Orange Piccolo is poggers, and Gohan Beast can stab you with his razor-sharp hair. I mean, come on, if you're standing behind Gohan when he transforms, you're losing an eye. S tier any day of the week.
I agree, Mr. President. And though they weren't around for long, those 2 hero androids were solid. The whole story was goofy as fuck. But in a good way, I like the setup. And it makes sense that the Red Ribbon Army is still crawling around like a cockroach. Great film, and an amazing ending, not to mention that Bulma scene. I mean, guys, her ass was just on full display for a solid 10 seconds. A wooga wooga my monkey brain likey.
I don't know what it is with these new Dragon Ball movies, but they certainly have much more magic and thought put into them. And seeing my waifu MILF Bulma shake her ass for me was fantastic. I specifically called Toriyama and told him to include a scene where Bulma makes that shit clap for a real player. And my main boy Toriyama delivered. S tier for sure. Well, fellas, this has been amazing. And despite some of your dog shit takes, I'm really happy to have done this tier list with all of you. I gotta go now, though. I've got 14 missed calls from my lawyers. I'll talk to you guys later.
I gotta go too, fellas. I got Jill this Chile cosplay, and let's just say Dark Brandon is about to come out. Till next time, you beautiful bastards.
Mr. Rogan, thank you as always for being a wonderful guest. Would you like to do the outro for us?
For real, Barry? No fooling? I can do an outro?
Go right ahead, Mr. Rogan. Obama is out of here till we meet again.
This is truly an honor. Thank you guys so much for watching our videos and subscribing to our channel. As of this video, we have over 400 subscribers, and I talked to AI Tob earlier today, and he wanted me to tell all of you how thankful he is, and how happy he is that all of you wonderful folks have been enjoying the content. You guys are all legends. And pimps. Even if we disagree, you guys are all honorary AI Tob family members. Thank you so much. Now it's time for me to hit this super blunt Kushron left me. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. And if you felt so inclined, hit that subscribe button harder than I'm about to rip through this blunt. See you later, players. Alpha Joe is out of here.